Hello everybody, this is Chuck Wiger, State Senator, and today I'm very pleased to have with me President Angelia Millender from Century College. Welcome to my office.
Oh, thank you so much, Senator. I'm very glad to be here. And first, I want to thank you for all your support of Century College and the great work that you do in the state of Minnesota with your advocacy and your priority on education.
Well, it's very kind of you, and that's my job to be an advocate for our future workforce, for the students that are training, retraining.
Yes.
Thousands and thousands of students over the past 50 years
Yes,
have gone
absolutely.
to Century.
Yes.
Each of my 5 kids, part of their educational journey included Century, or even, there's so many stories throughout our region, and so we're very honored that we have you leading that prestigious organization now. And so we're going to ask you, what right now is the overall mission, President Millender, for Century College?
Well, our mission has to be access with success. Even though that might not be what it reads, but that is what it means. It means an open access opportunity for all students who seek it and all students who want to do the work to achieve it. We offer so many options for entry. You don't have to be college ready. We can help you get there. We meet you where you are. And we have career and technical programs.
And you have counselors, so that's important. Wherever you're at, you come in, and it's free to get an assessment as to what your skills are. I believe you have over 100 type programs that you might train for that have jobs at the end.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely.
But there's counselors, there's
and
people
advisors
that you can talk to.
Yes.
They'll test you, they'll talk about your interests, what might be a track you could aspire. And so that's about that bridge to success as to what you can do.
Absolutely. Upon entry, all first-year students is assigned an academic advisor.
Yes.
At the point of application, we do an online orientation with students to get acclimated to what the college has to offer and what it really means to go to college. Sometimes students may be undecided, as you said, Senator, and we counselors and advisors work with them to kind of define their path and determine their passion. Everybody does not come knowing what they want to do, but they know they want to do something, whether it's an adult who wants to retrain, to re-enter the workforce and the same to enhance their career, or to identify another one to get a more high wage, high demand job. And those who want to finish up that degree that they started and never finished. And also students who enter right out of high school, because Century has some very well-developed partnerships with the K through 12 system so that it is a seamless transition from K through 12.
And with our post-secondary enrollment opportunities, the PSEO, you can get college credit
you can.
in high school.
You can.
Hundreds of students in our greater area are doing that.
Yes.
And so talk about bridging that path to success.
Absolutely. So the point is if you want to do it, you can do it.
Yes.
Because you can do concurrent enrollment either at your high school, or you can come to Century and take courses with the college students. So that gives you a different environment. What I really like about concurrent and PSEO type programs across this nation is that it has allowed more affordability.
Yes.
You can get the credit for high school and you can get the credit for college, so essentially you have 2 transcripts once you complete your programs, and the college credit transfers. And sometimes the universities may even look at your college credit to see how you did and forego some of the entry requirements that you might have to go through to get in. So
saves time, saves money.
Absolutely. Speaking of money, Century is an affordable option.
Yes.
It is an alternative to 1 through 4. Students can do a 2+, as I call it. 2 at Century, 2 somewhere else. And that's going to save students a lot of money over time, and parents should really understand that. The average tuition for a full academic year, fall and spring, is $5,400, a little bit over $5,400 for students. Mm-hmm. That's University of Minnesota in the Twin Cities is about 3 times that rate. And private universities, don't even talk about it. They're about $20,000 per academic year. So students, what's good about a 2+2 option in addition to that is that students grow up.
Yes.
And they mature. And you're not paying that high tuition while your child is maturing.
Yes.
So at least they have an option to get stronger. And we've seen students who've gotten stronger in those first 2 years and as they progress to that third and that fourth. And universities say all the time is that they would rather have a transfer student coming in, not rather, but they're stronger in terms of their academic preparedness, and they understand college better so that they can move on to be more successful and complete their 4-year degree.
Now, the school, it's located actually in 2 counties, straddling Ramsey and Washington, White Bear, Mahtomedi. Tell us about the size of the school, and the number of employees, the enrollment. You have credit, non-credit courses, but just big picture, some numbers.
Okay. We have over 21,000, we serve 21,000 students annually, and that's annual head count. That's not every fall and every spring, but it's annual over the academic year. That includes credit and non-credit. 65% of our students.
That's a big community.
It is a big community. It's a lot going on all the time.
Yes.
65% of our students attend part-time. Most people don't know that. They
can kind of go what works with their schedule.
Yep, they can
Maybe
do
they're
what works.
working their job or whatever.
Yep, and they often work and go to school at the same time. Students can take classes online as well as face-to-face, whatever works with them, for them. And the faculty also allow what we call blended courses, where some part of the course is online and sometimes some of it is face-to-face. Our student population is very diverse. It's primarily about 60 to 65% female and the rest male, but all ages from 18 to upwards of 65 and older. Students are coming back to Access Century. We have full and part-time faculty and full and part-time staff. We have over 300 employees who are faculty and other staff that support our students as advisors, counselors, financial aid staff, and student life staff and finance staff and everybody that works together to help our students to succeed at every point.
Good. A lot of discussion about the Fab Lab, and I have a promotional item. We did provide some additional funds to help with, and I was honored to be an author of that. But tell us about Fab Lab as well as some of the other great initiatives, projects that are going on.
Absolutely. So we're excited and have already started the visioning work for this project, and thank you so much for the bonding bill and the funding that helps support what we are calling the revisioning of technology into the future. When we wrote the proposal for the Fab Lab, technology was there. Technology has evolved since that time. So what we're doing now is we're going back to the drawing board with some of our faculty, staff, and a lot of community stakeholders. We're going to involve business and industry in those discussions to make sure that we create something that works not only in the academic environment but in the work environment. The Fab Lab is one of those areas that we plan to queue up for renovation and change, as well as our welding space. That is another key high demand, high wage, high need area in our workforce. So we're going to upgrade that. We're going to add more lab space for students so that faculty can bring their students into this Fab Lab space and connect with technology that they may not have used in the class before, so that we're trying to update how we teach our students in a more applied format, so that when they go into the workforce, they are prepared with the skills that they need.
So you work with employers directly.
Oh, yes.
And that's a key part. When you have these classes, you want to have this bridge to success with an employer.
Absolutely.
And so the employers are there advising, and sometimes they may be part-time faculty or recruited. And so, the message that I've seen is, there's a job there.
Absolutely.
If you've got the right attitude and aptitude, we'll help you on that.
Absolutely.
We'll help you with the financial part as well.
Yes.
So it's all there, and you're trying to create these opportunities that the private sector is telling you they're there.
They're there.
So it's a win-win
to
help everybody.
Clearly.
And so that's why the Fab Lab has had a lot of attention, and I'm so impressed with all the creative minds and what's being made in there. And so, great leadership that you're providing there. And
it's a center of innovation.
Yes. And as I mentioned earlier, there's over 100 different types of job titles, programs that you can get. You mentioned
I'll highlight
the welding,
a few.
But you mentioned the welding, and there's bonuses I see in lots of communities. I've seen signs that get a bonus if you become that. But some of the other professions that are growing, where their jobs are waiting, we just need people to get trained or retrained.
Healthcare is one of those fields, especially in the state of Minnesota and across this nation. We offer a nursing program, ranked number 2 in the state of Minnesota for its high pass rates and quality, and we partner with...
That's very important, the quality and the pass rates.
Oh, yes.
What good does it do if you don't?
Extremely important. And we work to get those students clinical placements at our area hospitals. So there shouldn't be one hospital in this area that has not had a Century student in a clinical or in working in some capacity. We have medical assisting as well, very signature program, and is regionally accredited and program accredited. We have a dental hygienist, EMT, EMS, radio, rad tech, as well as health information services and health sciences programs. We have additive and digital manufacturing, a whole host of STEM programs and technology.
What was that last one? I understand STEM, the additive.
Additive and digital manufacturing.
Okay.
Manufacturing is moving beyond what the community is known manufacturing to be, and it's more technology driven and applied learning driven that does not necessarily take a student into a factory of the jobs that they thought were in the past. Those still exist, but there are skilled labor and training needs that students will need in today's manufacturing environment. So it's more of that type of manufacturing.
And what is the recent thought about the future as to how many jobs will be different than right now? I think I've heard that in 10 years that the majority of jobs will be different?
Well, they will be. The workforce will be different. The workforce will require, especially in the state of Minnesota and other places as well, they will require a trained workforce that is more technology driven and one that is more, like I said, trained and skilled in labor and some education beyond a high school degree. It's almost like that middle job growth, a middle level of job growth, and we are working to mitigate that by offering our programs at Century in many of the high demand fields. And if you can't get it with Century, you can get it within the Minnesota State College and University system. So we are a collaboration of colleges and universities.
And as you mentioned earlier, with the high schools as well.
Oh yeah, we're all together.
And
we're all
businesses,
together.
So that coordination. So
there can't
great.
be any silos. Silos work very well on farms. They do not work well in higher education institutions or anywhere else for that matter. So we have to be in partnership and in concert with each other, from K through 12 to higher education, from higher education connecting with employers, working with our local chambers and all sorts of people to find out where the demands are. An educational institution that doesn't listen to their community will not be ready for the future. In fact, they're not ready for the current state of our jobs.
Yes.
And so those partnerships are extremely important. And that's why I want to draw back to the Fab Lab, envisioning it. We are definitely engaging our industry partners in that conversation, because we can't build something that they can't use.
Yeah.
It can't just be that silo of what's in our classroom. It has to be relevant, and it has to meet the needs of the workforce.
Okay. You also have a great foundation,
Yes.
philanthropic group. Tell us just briefly about that. I do a special segment on that, but they help so much of this bridge to success happen as well.
Absolutely. And you talked about all the stories of students who have come to Century, and working with our foundation and our members of the foundation board who give of their time without pay, without any type of incentives. They do the work because they know it is the right thing to do, not that they have to do it. And they raise funds and give of their time and their money to help our students to bridge that gap, and also have that bridge to success. Many of our students may not have eligibility for state or federal funds, even though the state of Minnesota is very generous in its state's funds, as well in state work study, as well as in state need-based grants. But sometimes there's still a little bit of a gap there, and there are students who can't qualify for any of that. So the foundation meets our students to bridge that gap. We raised, through our 50th anniversary celebration, almost $500,000 for our students in scholarship funds, and they continue to plan strategically to make sure that we have funds available for our students.
Well, President Millender, I want to thank you for all you're doing and leading the school in its next 50 years.
Yep.
You were a part of a national recruitment to get you. Just share with our viewers, your background briefly, but just growing up, what started that flame to go into education?
Yeah. Well, I'm not going to tell you how long I've been in this business, but it wasn't yesterday when it started. I started my learning journey in Chicago and in the K through 12 system. I started working early on, Senator, with high need socioeconomic students in the communities of Chicago on the south and west side.
So you went to college in Chicago area as well?
Did all my coursework for college in the Chicago area.
Okay.
Actually got a teacher scholarship and began teaching in those areas in the Chicago public schools. And that's where I really defined my educational philosophy to do the work that I'm doing now. So my journey here at Century is not by chance, it's by design. I say it's a calling. It's time. It's part of my community college experience and my advocacy to continue to make a difference.
Any person or two you'd like to say that had a big influence? We'll assume parents would, but anyone else?
Well, I have to mention my husband, because he's been in tow with me everywhere I've gone. We know how that goes.
And his name?
Is Emmanuel Washington. So he has certainly been a huge supporter. And everybody I meet along the way, I've lived in other states other than Illinois and Minnesota. You meet people and they influence you. You meet students and they influence you. And every day somebody needs what you have to offer. And it's that common good calling. doing something to raise and elevate others, and always
Okay.
giving back.
What's the number one thing you want to make sure gets accomplished in the next 3 years?
We want to clearly, as I said earlier, improve our student success rate. Everything I do every day drives that. Communicating with our faculty and staff to make sure the vision is clear, that the reason why we are here is to educate the workforce and educate our students so that they can have strong families and be viable citizens in this great country. So if I can get that done during my time and continue that trajectory, we're already doing great work.
Yes.
So you already have a really good foundation at Century. It's solid. So the more you can do to help build enrollments and build an infrastructure so that students can attend seamlessly without barriers that we put up for them, and that we can connect more with business and industry to ensure our programs are relevant. I think that's a tall order, and whether you aspire to do it and write it down, it's your work by design of what the industry is that you're in, and that's education.
If the general public, any viewer, wanted to express a suggestion or a question, can they do that to you or by email or phone? Or?
Yes, they can always reach me at the president's office at centurycollege.edu. I have a great executive assistant, Christine McGing, who can reach you, or reach me, not reach you, but she can reach me wherever I am. She even has my personal itinerary when I go on vacation. So I believe she can, anybody can reach me for a question. All of my contact information, phone number, email address.
You've been so
is
accessible
on the
to so
website.
many meetings.
Yes.
You're everywhere.
I'm everywhere.
And so we
Yes.
commend that, and I just want to make sure viewers know that you are very open for
Yes.
suggestions and comments to continue on that mission to bridge
Absolutely.
success.
And that's very important, Senator, because our doors must always be open. We don't have all the answers, but we work toward getting to the solution as best we can every day. And all feedback is welcome. We might not be able to use it all because, we have to measure progress, measure change, measure success. But we can certainly keep the door open for that feedback.
President Angelia Millender,
Thank you
so much for your service and
Absolutely.
guiding Century, and
Yes.
we appreciate all the wonderful accomplishments and even better accomplishments ahead.
Yes, my pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thank you.